problem with facing the Sicilian is that despite your best efforts to counter something like the mainline dragon, it's easy to go astray on move 14 and be checkmated by move 20. That's why the c3 Sicilian is an excellent choice, because after just 2 moves you have your opening on the board. Has it got a good pedigree? You bet. Michael Adams plays it, and Anatoly Karpov. And you know, world champion Garry Kasparov has even lost to it. The good thing about the c3 Sicilian is that, if in doubt, white's going to play d4 and take over a centre, so black has to think of something to do. Perhaps the main line is to counter with 2d5. This is all very well, but the white response has been finely tuned. Let's see what happens. E takes d5, queen takes d5. Although this is played at the highest level, it can cause problems to those whose defensive techniques aren't up to, say, Anatoly Karpov. White proceeds with d4, and his ambition is to chase that exposed queen. When this happens, black's development frequently becomes retarded and he can suffer a swift beating. The standard move is knight f6, and after white brings his own knight to f3, the path diverges. The first and most common move is e6, with the idea of bishop e7 to castle kingside. Now white can proceed in a rather predictable fashion, following the books with bishop e2, with a solid position and good prospects of advantage. But we want to be more adventurous than that. My own recommendation in this position is a move that I've played several times with success, and that's knight bd2. A little crafty move that sets black a problem straight away, and the idea is simply bishop c4 attacking that queen. For example, I've seen people respond knight c6, bishop c4, the queen is forced to retreat to d8. After knight b3, white has a space advantage which can soon be converted into an attacking formation that soon puts black under intense pressure. Next up is bishop g4, an annoying pin which most references refer to as the reason why c3 Sicilian should not be played. But of course this is purely because they all recommend the slow but solid bishop e2. In this case, I'm going to show you the latest move, the latest fashion, and the one that's got black trembling around the world. Ironically, it's a very simple move. D takes c5. This move has only recently even been considered, because everyone used to think that queen takes queen, followed by king takes queen, gives black the superior ending because the king is exposed. However, as even Grandmaster John Nunn found out, the pawn on c5 is the real key to this position. It's very difficult for black to get it back. Currently, this is thought to be a pretty good ending for white because basically he's a pawn up and black has to really fight to try and get any compensation. We will also be looking at Gallagher's recommendation knight c6. Now in the majority of cases this will transpose after knight f3. However, those with Gallagher's book on beating the anti-Sicilians will now walk into a line with c takes d4. This is all very well, but the latest theory has in fact condoned this move and you could be on your way to a very easy point. White replies c takes d4, and the idea, which we will explore later, is simply knight c3 to knock away that queen. Another way for black to stop white getting everything his own way is to try knight f6. This rather odd looking move is kind of like an Alekhine because that knight will be chased around the board after e5.